City of Stevens Point Police and Fire Commission meeting, recorded Tuesday, April 21, 2020.
I do have 10 o'clock. Let me just confirm on the worldwide thing. I will call the meeting of the Stevens Point Police and Fire Commission for Tuesday, April the 21st to order. Leanne, would you please call the roll?
Carlson?
Here.
Kirschling?
Here.
Moore?
Here.
Ostrowski?
Here.
And Westcott.
Here. We have a number of important items in front of us this morning, Commissioners, as you know. We're going to begin with several items that are under the purview of our Fire Chief, Bob Finn, many of them related to the pandemic throughout the country. Before we go to item 2, I just want to publicly thank Bob and the folks at our fire and ambulance services. The Commission is aware of all of the incredible behind-the-scenes work, planning, and preparation that has taken place, and your frequent briefings of the Commission. We acknowledge long hours, and we are sincerely appreciative, Bob, to you, the Assistant Chiefs, our Captains, Lieutenants, and all the firefighter paramedics for the work they continue to do to protect this community. The President also wishes to acknowledge, it is my understanding, that the liaison from the Common Council, Alderperson Mary Kneebone, is monitoring via social media, and we thank her for her dedication and support of these services, too. With that, Bob, item 2 is the discussion with possible action for approval of the Memorandum of Understanding with the Stevens Point Firefighters Local Union on the bonus sick day accrual. Members of the Commission, you have in your packet from Leanne the proposed memorandum from the firefighters. Let me pull it up on my computer here. On the bonus sick day accrual, Chief Finn, you have the floor, sir.
Okay, back in March when the mayor declared an emergency proclamation, city employees were given the ability to call in sick and not lose the ability to...
You want me to move?
Hold on one second. City employees had the right to call in sick and not lose the ability to accumulate bonus sick days. Well, bonus sick days is part of the labor agreement. So basically, this MOU that comes before you, because it has to do with operations and that the City Council, would be given the same benefits to the firefighters that all other city employees received.
Are there questions of Chief Finn on the Memorandum of Understanding as it's in front of the Commission?
So this is just being done to put them in line with all other employees, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
All right, I will entertain a motion, and I would like the motion to include, if the Commission is so willing, I would like the Commission to authorize Commissioner Carlson, if Bob needs an actual physical signature today, that Ron would be authorized to sign in my absence.
I would make a motion to approve this memorandum and also to allow for Ron to substitute at this time under these conditions for our president in signing.
Is there a second?
Kirschling seconds that.
All right. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Let's go to the next one, and that would be the Memorandum of Understanding. Bob, item number 3 on our agenda, discussion and possible action for the approval of Memorandum of Understanding with the Stevens Point firefighters regarding vacation changes and carryover. You have the floor, sir.
Again, this has to do with COVID-19. When the mayor declared the proclamation of emergency, that gave the city employees to carry over. City policy allows them to carry over 1 week with approval of their supervisor. This allowed them to carry over a second week. The current contract with Local 484 does not allow for any carryover. So any cancellation of vacation due to COVID-19, the following line again, what all city employees have is that they have the ability to carry over 1 week's vacation, and that vacation time has to be used by June 30th, 2021.
So
And you are,
again, this is to put us in line with all other employees in the city.
Correct.
Thank you.
all right, are there questions for Chief Finn on this memorandum of understanding regarding vacation changes and/or carryover?
I have one question. The document does not appear to have the end date of what you said, June 30th, 2021 in it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does. Who's that speaking?
Oh, okay. Yes, it does. I see it now. Thank you.
Who was that talking?
That was excuse me, that was Commissioner Jerry Moore. Old
Oh,
Abbott.
okay, I didn't hear. I was like, it's hard to tell.
Yeah,
But
okay,
no,
that
it is.
was-
It does say in there prior to June 30th, 2021.
Yeah, I see it now.
Are there other questions for Chief Finn on this item? I would, if the commission so is inclined, entertain a motion to approve with the same condition applied to authorize Commissioner Carlson to sign in my absence. And I will so make that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconds. Second by Commissioner Kirschling, and I think it was the first one I heard. All in favor of the motion as presented to the commission, please say aye.
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 Opposed say no. Motion carries. Item number 4 is the discussion with possible action for authorization for the commission to authorize the hiring of 3 firefighter paramedics from the eligibility list. Bob?
Hold on, I have to ask Commissioner Carlson to move one more thing. Thank you. 6213 says that appointments of firefighters comes from the Police and Fire Commission. We have a current list with 3 names on it. We are asking to hire these 3, even though they are not paramedics yet, due to low staffing, due to retirements, and people going to different departments. Before you is the list that we're submitting the 3 names for approval. All 3 candidates appeared on the eligibility list dated December 3rd, 2019, and have passed all pre-employment requirements. And the last physical parts were done last week at Ascension, so we should have all the results by the end of the week. Because of there are 3, we're going to do staggering hire. One in like maybe the 2nd or 3rd week of May, one the 2nd week of May, one the 3rd week of May, and with the 4th week being Memorial Day, the other guy starting the 1st week of June. We have worked out all the logistical problems with them not being medics at this time. Hopefully, 2 of them will complete paramedic school virtually through North Central Technical College by the end of May. They're trying to work that out. In their conditional offer of employment, it does say they have to become a paramedic within 1 year of date of hire. Due to the extraordinary times, they're requesting that you guys usually bring the 3 candidates before you. I submitted the 3 resumes for all 3 candidates. One of them, Connor Pella, was an intern of ours, and all recommendations and background checks have come back saying that these are 3 real good people that we should hire them.
All right, so is your understanding, Bob, or what you're reporting to the commission is all of the pre-employment requirements and requisites have been satisfied or are in the process of being satisfied. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, we're just, all the testing has been done, now I'm just waiting for results. Actually, I received the results from Ascension yesterday on one of the employees, so I'm anticipating by the end of this week, all their pre-employment requirements will be met, and then we can offer them, start giving them start dates.
Bob, I have one question for you, and that would be, in light of the fact that they're not paramedics, how does that affect our licensing? Because aren't we licensed on our ambulance as 2 paramedics?
They won't be assigned to the ambulance until they become a paramedic.
Okay, thank you.
And again, you're reporting that at least 2 of them are on trajectory to complete their paramedic licensure by the end of May of this year. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
How long on the 3rd one?
They're not, we're trying to find a national registry test. Some places aren't even running it.
Oh, okay.
Due to the COVID-19, if this was not extraordinary circumstances due to the COVID-19, we would have waited, and then they will all have been presented to you probably at the May meeting to get hired in June. We would have started the process because we knew they were completed.
Are we presently down 3 people, or is this an expansion of the personnel?
We are down 3 people, plus when the city council allowed for the hiring of the 1 person this year, we have not hired that person yet. And we were set to have interviews in May, and they have all been canceled because the candidates can't take all the tests, either the written or the physical part.
So in other words, according to approved values, we are technically 4 people down.
Correct.
Okay.
Are there other questions for Fire Chief Finn on the hiring the 3 individuals who are on the eligibility list in front of you, Commissioners?
I have no problems as long as they complete their paramedic status.
I think we all concur with that, Commissioner Ostrowski. Are there other questions? Bob, would you prefer individual motions on these, or would it suffice just to approve the request to hire the firefighter paramedics that are in front of us as listed to the Commission in your memorandum of April 13th? I'm actually comfortable just approving that as a blanket to hire the 3 individuals cited in the eligibility list if the Commission is comfortable with it too.
Without a doubt. Yeah, do all 3.
All right, I'll entertain a motion or I will make a motion that Chief Finn is authorized to hire the 3 firefighters that are identified in the December 3rd, 2019 eligibility list, and to offer conditional employment opportunities to them pending the satisfactory completion, although it sounds like they have completed most of it, and get them going and bring them online. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
I'm sorry, who was that?
Commissioner Carlson.
Hey, thank you. All in favor of the motion as presented to the Commission to hire these firefighters, please say aye.
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 Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Thank you, Bob. Congratulations.
I request one thing possibly, that at some future time when the things allow, we get a chance to meet these 3 individuals.
I think that's a very good idea. Thank you, Bob. All right. With that concludes the matters relevant to our fire chief this morning and items 2, 3, and 4 on the agenda. With that being said, I'll entertain a motion from Commissioner Carlson to convene into closed session under Wisconsin state statute as allowed. Ron, would you make that motion, please?
As soon as I find it.
Run.
Okay, here we go. All right, I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statutes section 19.85, subparagraph 1, C and F of the Wisconsin statutes for the purpose of considering employment of a public employee over which the Commission has jurisdiction and considering medical, social, or personal histories and disciplinary data of specific persons, including 1, discussion of disciplinary order issued to police chief and items related to disciplinary order. 2, discussion of communication from SPPOO regarding disciplinary action. And 3, discussion of appeal process for disciplinary action involving firefighter. The Commission will adjourn from the closed session without reconvening into open session.
Is there a second to the motion?
Second. by Ostrowski.
Seconded by Commissioner Ostrowski. Leanne, the motion, Commissioners, is to adjourn into closed session. Leanne, would you please call the roll?
Carlson?
Yes.
Kirschling?
Yes.
Moore?
Yes.
Ostrowski?
Yes.
Westcott?
Yes. With that matter, we are now in closed session.
A video of this meeting is available for viewing on the city's website, stevenspoint.com/videos.